All right, so in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys clips of Adam22 and 1090 Jake talking about 03 Greedo's case and how they're basically calling him a snitch, and how Adam22 basically sold out 03 Greedo to 1090 Jake to be exposed so that Adam could benefit from it. And a lot of people, probably most people, think that 1090 Jake's the one who exposes people and puts people's paperwork out there. No, actually, this came from Adam. Adam was in contact with the people accusing 03 Greedo of snitching. So Adam22 is like, I don't want to be the one that actually exposes him per se. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'll put it on blast once it's out, but you got to go through 1090 Jake. His fat ass is the only one who really exposes people like that. I really just sit back and benefit from it all, you know what I mean? And so this is what's happened. Adam has basically gift wrapped the paperwork and sent it to 1090 Jake. Remember, 1090 Jake hasn't substantiated. He hasn't pulled any of this himself. He's going by other people's words, and you're going to hear about that too. But let's start with this clip of Adam and 03 Greedo talking about the old times, how close they are as friends, etc. Now, keep in mind, this is the same day shortly before he interviews 1090 Jake. He's got the same clothes on. It's the same situation. Okay, so just keep that in mind.
And we finally back with the man.
Yes, sir.
I'm just going to put this in perspective, is that on my fridge, since my kid was born, I had three photos of rappers on the fridge. Juice WRLD, rest in peace. X, rest in peace. And 03 Greedo.
Yeah, that's
and
my guy.
I would always take my kid and hold her up and look at it, and I'd be like, all right, these two.
All right, so 03 Greedo is one of Adam's closest rapper friends, okay? Lil Peep wasn't even on the fridge, and Adam has Lil Peep's tattoo on the side of his face. All right, so let's cut to the same day, same room, same fucking everything. This is like the same interview almost. 1090 Jake must have been in the next room listening with his ear up against the door. I'm not even joking. I think that he was actually able to review the footage from the 03 Greedo interview that happened minutes before. But I do want you to listen to Adam22 explain that he was the perpetrator behind exposing 03 Greedo, and that he just used 1090 Jake as the motor in which to distribute the information. Okay, now I do need to point something out and make something very clear. I believe 1090 Jake has told Adam that he wants him to take responsibility for this as well, so it's not just 1090 Jake getting threats. He wants Adam to own what he has done. This whole thing's a setup, and Adam very sheepishly goes, all right, so I just want to explain how this all... And 1090 Jake's like, yeah, do that, because I don't want to be looked at like I'm a fucking fat piece of shit because of what I've done. You know, this is Adam and 1090 Jake coping is what this is. This is a cope stream. It's a cope interview.
So I'll lay out how this took place from my perspective. Greedo has a former manager from his hood, a homie of his who he was always rolling with early on in his career. So I was around him a few times as a result of them being super tight. Right. And then at a certain point, they had a falling out. I don't even know the details of how all that played out, but I believe that they tried to get into contact with Greedo. When Greedo got released, Greedo wasn't really f***ing with them. So they hit me up and they say, yo, Adam, we got paperwork that proves that Greedo's a snitch. I say to them, I don't really do that, you know? Like, I don't expose people for snitching. If it's already out there, if there's a whole conversation about it, then I could perhaps have a conversation about it, but I'm not going to be the one who stamps this paperwork and says that it's legit. But I told him, if you want to like get it verified or not verified, like if you want to find out if it's legit, I can give you 1090 Jake's number, because he's pretty much the guy right now that would be the one who people are going to listen to about if this shit is real or not. So I put you guys in touch. And then there was a period of a couple weeks where I didn't hear anything about it. And then you end up making the video about him. So what made you actually feel confident that the paperwork that they were showing you was valid?
All right, so I'm glad you put that out there too, because nobody knows how I got in contact with those specific people.
Right.
So Adam opens up with, let me just explain how this all happened. And Jake's like, yeah, do that. Yeah, hurry up.
So I'll lay out how this took place from my perspective. Go ahead. Greedo has
I think that this was all like orchestrated like before the fact, like, you know what I mean? So I do want to point out the fact that 1090 Jake did not get this paperwork on his own like he does with all his other cases. This is what he prides himself on, is that he pays for and collects the actual documents from the actual police. But for this 03 Greedo snitching allegation, he just took the paperwork that he was given and put it up and said, hey, if the paperwork is false, then I'll clear his name. Which raises the question, is 1090 Jake getting desperate for stories to cover? Like he's jumping the gun on these already? I mean, this is not a good look. I'm not saying that the paperwork's fake. I'm just saying before 1090 Jake was even able to confirm it, he made a video on it. Something that he claims he never does. He never takes people's word for it. He requests the documents from the police themselves.
Normally, when people fake paperwork, they fake a page, right? This was 26 pages and then like another 20 pictures. So it was pictures from the search of the vehicle showing the meth, the guns, the car itself, where they hid the meth. I'm reading everything. I'm like, bro, this ain't fake. You know what I mean?
Okay, so he just said that if it looks real enough, it doesn't matter if it comes from an illegitimate source, he will run the story for clout and content. I just think it's so fascinating to watch these two privileged white guys from the East Coast come over here to LA and start talking about gang politics and start regulating it and shit. I mean, Adam22's got Crips on payrolls, for Christ's sake. I mean, this is not good. I don't want to see anyone getting hurt, but it seems like Adam doesn't care. Adam's almost taunting the situation. And I just want to point out that if 03 Greedo never had a friendship with Adam22, he would never have been exposed like this. I mean, this is Adam's fault. Okay. And it almost serves 03 Greedo right for fucking with Adam after we've seen the 16 allegations, we've seen the coercion allegations, we've seen the racist allegations. So No Jumper's reputation in LA has been in the shit box. Okay. So I don't know why people keep showing up there. This is the only reason Adam even still has a voice, is because guys like 03 Greedo keep showing up for him. It's like, have some fucking backbone and maybe you won't get this bad karma. Everyone needs to stop showing up to No Jumper. I don't know why people think it's cool to get interviewed by Adam16. So at this point, if you're in 2023 still trying to get interviewed by Adam16, if you're a budding artist, if you're anything and you go on No Jumper to get interviewed by Adam16, you are pathetic. Okay, and shame on you.
Or is this something that totally just blindsided you over the course of the past couple weeks?
It totally blindsided me because in my situation,
I knew there was going to be people on both sides. I was surprised that they said that paperwork doesn't count because it's an arrest report.
Yes, that's absolutely true. Just because you're in a arrest report. It's crazy is that these gangsters, they think that no one's ever said anything to the cops ever. It's like a snitch doesn't mean that you said something to a policeman. That doesn't mean that you're a snitch. So I just think it's really petty what Jake does, and especially when he's a snitch himself, like he's on paperwork giving information to the police that led to the arrest of 2 individuals allegedly. Okay? So he's actually a snitch, and not to mention when he went to prison for whatever gun possession, he went to prison for 2 years in Florida, where everyone gets time for fucking anything. And then he got out of prison and he went to Boston. He hasn't been back to jail since. Doesn't live this lifestyle. He's never put himself into a gangsta situation. And he damn sure shouldn't be sitting in LA talking about real gangbangers politics. I mean, this is insane. The guy's a fake blood. He's a YouTuber who went through several different niches. He's actually a prison life YouTuber. And he gets hella views, hundreds of thousands of views every drop. And so people respect his clout. So he's built some clout for himself with these numbers, but he's not a gang member. He's not a blood. And I just think it's really silly that he's allowed to this internet shit is crazy. You can be whatever you want to be on the internet. I personally think Jake should just go back to telling stories in his funny accent. You know what I mean? Like the good old days. Man, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of EOS. It's 1090 Jake, man. I'm rocking with y'all and y'all rocking with me. And for this video, and you guys get the point. You know what I mean? Those are the good old days when he's just telling a story. He's not a big shot. He's not a gangbanger. He's not calling the shots. He's not telling bullshit lies. He's just telling other people's stories through his Boston accent. That's it. That's all. Okay. So anyways, this has been a video. I'd like you guys to hit the like button and let me know what you think about everything. And I'll see you on the next one.